Everyone, today we're diving into the incredible story of how the United States was born, the most powerful nation on Earth. What started as Native American lands turned into European colonies, then sparked a massive fight for independence. Revolution, the Constitution, massive expansion, it's all about the triumph of freedom and new ideas. Let's go back to the beginning and explore how it all happened. The history of the founding of the United States is a long and complex journey that began with European exploration and colonization, led through the struggle for independence, the creation of a new government, territorial expansion, and culminated in the tensions that sparked the Civil War. It all started in 1492 when Christopher Columbus, sponsored by Spain, crossed the Atlantic Ocean and reached the Bahamas on October 12. He was searching for a route to India but instead discovered a new continent for Europeans. This event triggered the Columbian Exchange. Crops like corn, potatoes, tomatoes, and tobacco went from the Americas to Europe, while horses, cattle, pigs, wheat, iron tools, guns, and diseases came to the Americas. These diseases devastated Native American populations, wiping out 80–95% in many areas and making later European settlement easier. In the 16th century, the Spanish were active in North America. In 1565, they founded St. Augustine in Florida, the oldest continuously inhabited European established settlement in the continental United States. The Spanish built missions from Florida to California, aiming to convert Native Americans and claim land. The French also settled in the north and along the Mississippi River. England's successful colonization began in the 17th century. An early attempt, the Roanoke colony, mysteriously disappeared. In 1607, the first permanent English settlement was established at Jamestown, Virginia. Led by John Smith, the colony nearly failed due to starvation and disease, but John Rolfe developed tobacco cultivation, turning it profitable. In 1619, the first enslaved Africans arrived, marking the beginning of slavery in the English colonies. In 1620, the Mayflower brought 102 pilgrims to found Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts. They signed the Mayflower Compact, the first written framework for self-government in America, an early seed of democracy. Later, the larger Massachusetts Bay Colony was established with the idea of building a city upon a hill, a model religious community. By the late 17th century, 13 colonies had formed. New England, focused on religion, education, trade, and fishing. Middle colonies, diverse populations, religious tolerance. Southern colonies, plantation economy, reliant on enslaved African labor. As the colonies grew, local self-government, trade, and education strengthened, but Britain's control increased through laws like the Navigation Acts. The French and Indian War, part of the larger 7 Years' War, ended with Britain's victory. Britain gained Canada and lands east of the Mississippi but accumulated massive debt. To pay it off, Britain imposed taxes on the colonies: Sugar Act, Stamp Act, Townshend Acts, and Tea Act. Colonists protested with the slogan, "No taxation without representation," since they had no seats in Parliament. Tensions escalated. The Boston Massacre, and the Boston Tea Party. In 1774, the First Continental Congress met. In 1775, battles at Lexington and Concord began the Revolutionary War. In January 1776, Thomas Paine's pamphlet Common Sense popularized independence. On July 4, 1776, the Second Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, mainly written by Thomas Jefferson. It declared, "All men are created equal, endowed with certain unalienable rights. Life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness." The war lasted from 1775 to 1783. George Washington commanded the Continental Army. Difficult years included victories at Trenton and Princeton, the harsh winter at Valley Forge where Prussian officer Baron von Steuben trained troops, the decisive Saratoga victory that brought French alliance, and the Yorktown siege where French naval support forced British General Cornwallis to surrender. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris recognized U.S. independence, with borders to the Mississippi River. After the war, the weak Articles of Confederation caused problems. In 1787, the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia produced the U.S. Constitution, with separation of powers, federalism, checks and balances. Ratified in 1788–1789, it took effect. In 1789, George Washington became the first president. In 1791, the Bill of Rights guaranteed freedoms like speech, religion, and bearing arms. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase doubled U.S. territory. The Lewis and Clark expedition explored the new lands. The War of 1812 reinforced independence and inspired the national anthem. In the 19th century, Manifest Destiny, the belief that America was destined to expand from ocean to ocean, drove growth. The Mexican-American War added California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. Expansion intensified the slavery debate. The industrial North opposed it, while the plantation South depended on it. Compromises, the Kansas-Nebraska Act and the Dred Scott decision heightened divisions. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president. Southern states seceded, forming the Confederacy. This led to the Civil War, the bloodiest in U.S. history, ending with the Union's victory and the abolition of slavery. The founding of the United States is a story of colonial oppression, revolutionary ideals of liberty and equality, constitutional democracy, and massive expansion. It includes great achievements but also tragedies: the displacement of Native Americans, the horrors of slavery, and deep conflicts. This history created the world's first large-scale modern republic born from colonial rebellion. And that's how it all began, everyone. The founding of the United States is not just a list of dates and battles, it's a powerful story of transformation, from colonial oppression and slavery, through a revolutionary struggle for freedom, to the creation of the world's first large-scale modern republic based on democratic ideals and a written constitution. Yes, this history includes great tragedies, the displacement of Native Americans, the horrors of slavery, and deep divisions, but it also represents one of humanity's boldest experiments in self-government and liberty. Today the U.S. stands as a global leader, but its roots lie in that incredible fight for independence and justice. Did you enjoy this video? Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next: the Civil War, the Industrial Revolution, or something else. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.